Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Liverpool show, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to every single one of you guys. Confirmed Ramadan tomorrow. So Ramadan Kareem to everyone in the chat. Tomorrow the fasting starts, Our 4-year fast for a league title inshallah ends the season. But tomorrow our fasting starts. You get me? Thank God there are no games tomorrow, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to do a Q&A. And Sunday we've got the United Fulham game. So the first thing I've got to do on like a fasting basis, probably the Tuesday show with Tom. Oh my God, I've got to be able to fast through a show with Tom Little. Oh my God, give me strength. Anyway, I'm not gonna throw my toys out the pram or throw a hissy fit like certain people. It is what it is. Some people are just dramatic, This is just life. Unfortunately, the Amazon documentary had no drama, but some people in life are just dramatic, it's just, some people can't even grasp the concept of you just falling asleep. But it is what it is. What can we do? Sometimes you just have to let the people speak their dummies out, It is what it is. So what, I fell asleep in the middle of a conversation. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, regardless, love you all. Hit the like button, subscribe. Joining me first and foremost is the biggest troublemaker in YouTube history. I hope he says nothing that gets us demonetized today. You get me? Because I need the money for this month. Man like Jamie is in the building. How you doing, Jamie, man?
Wow. Troublemaker, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm doing all right. Apart from that documentary, I wasted 4 hours of my life on. Otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah, fair enough. Some people wasted 3 hours watching Oppenheimer. Joining me next on the channel, you get me?
Yeah,
he's
that,
back.
And that.
He's back. He got it spot on at the start of the season, to be fair, but I'm not going to give him his props yet. When we get over the line, we're going to have a special Mano a Mano episode, just like we had at the start of the season, and we're going to rewatch our episode from the start of the season together. Joining me is the man, the myth, the legend, from a call-in show to now his second Liverpool stream in a row. I genuinely enjoy listening to his opinions, and actually recently we've been agreeing on a lot, man. Man like Emeka is in the building. How are you doing, Emeka?
Salute. Big up to the chat, everybody here. I like what you said there. I like that. I want us to go back to that, rewatch it. Remember, I was the only one going toe-to-toe with you back then, and it's going to be a fun watch going back to that for sure.
Yeah, we're going to watch along our own stream back. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Joining me next on the channel, he has a new tab open where he's playing Football Manager because he's still a child and he hasn't grown up yet. He has hair like Andrea Pirlo, but opinions like Ryan. Joining us on the channel is man like Ram. How you doing, Ram, mate?
I can't believe you compare me to Ryan, man. What are we doing?
Wow.
What are we doing here? I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
I love you, Ram. I love you, Ram.
But all I want to do, I want to say Ramadan Kareem to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, aunties and uncles. It's going to be looking forward to fasting Husam with streams like with Tom. It's going to be hilarious.
Stop myself from swearing on that,
Yeah, man.
Big up to you. And last but not least, you get me? He's here. Unlike Ram, he doesn't have a new tab open to play Football Manager. He has a new tab open to trade crypto. You get me? That's his thing. Crypto demon. I think he's secretly a billionaire. He just doesn't want to tell us because we might look at him different. Man like Raks is in the building. Hi, Raks.
Hey guys, hello. Business is business. So yeah, need to do your trading. You need to do your bits and pieces to keep up with the Joneses. Thank you very much. Ramadan, one second. Ramadan Kareem to.
How are you interrupting Raks' intro? Are you mad, Rams? Don't ever disrespect Raks' legacy like this. Don't ever disrespect.
Nah, I need to protect myself because you're putting a false image for me, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, before I was so rudely interrupted, I just want to say I was giving everybody a guard of honor because we are champions. So everybody should be giving us we can all give each other a guard of honor for being so good this season. But there is still plenty to play for, so we shouldn't just be looking at the league. We got other things to go for too.
Yes, I'm gonna be greedy. Big up to Jack who says, get the hair clippers ready, bro. Remember? I don't remember nothing. I don't remember nothing, Jack. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. We're at 220 people already locked in. Let's get the likes up and subscribe to the channel right here, right now. And yeah, big up to you, Jack. Matisse, I see you in the building as well. Big up to you, Matisse. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Habibi, for locking him. Matisse is like my mentor, you know, even though I'm older than him, he's the guy that always gives me advice.
He's a Chelsea fan.
So, since we last spoke, Ram. See, this is the Ryan behavior I talk about. You just control yourself, Ryan. Ray, you control yourself, please. It would be nice if you just control yourself a little bit. You get me? Emika's on limited time. You know, we've got Mr. Jamie Phillips here. You know, we've got Raks here. So just respect their time, please. Let them. Damn, this guy. Anyway, so Emika, I'm gonna start off with you. Liverpool this week. This is the segment we usually start with. This is the segment they usually start with. We usually start with on the stream, and we're gonna start with Liverpool this week. Emika, since we last spoke, win against Manchester City, which I did call, and win against Newcastle. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, big week. We handled our business the way we have been all year, and Arsenal essentially capitulated now. And I think it was nice that, you know, I sent you a message and I said it's full circle now, and you dropped your leopard in the tree gimmick. You know, we're outside now. You know, we understand what's coming. Number 20 is on the way. Obviously there's still 10 games left, I guess, for us to yes. Yes, man. So I think it's just beautiful because I think if there's a fan base that deserves it, it's the Liverpool fan base, and I'll explain why. Because I think start of the year we had, and a lot of it is self-inflicted, which is why me and you started arguing back then in September. But I think we have a lot of that PTSD from our title run-ins with City. So obviously Jurgen Klopp leaves, a new manager comes in that none of us have heard of before. We didn't bring in anyone for the summer. So naturally there was some trepidation and people were a little bit concerned. But I think this is where that context matters in a sense, where if we actually looked at our performance last year, and how much things went against us, and for us to actually, which is why I was so confident when we had our conversation, Husam, which is like, again, we finished 7 points behind this same Arsenal team, which added players to it in the summer. And we had guaranteed we have 6 points off of referees that should have been ours. So the Spurs game and then the
9 points.
Yeah,
even worse.
Conservatively 6. I'm saying very conservative.
Fair enough.
That's the most conservative number I can give you. Guaranteed the sweet chin music on McAllister and then the Diaz goal. So really, we were basically 1 point behind this very same Arsenal team that had all their players for the entire year, and we were missing 6 or 7 starters for a good 3-4 months. So I looked at it and I'm like, I don't understand where people saw this juggernaut Arsenal team. And I said from the start, if we don't finish, the only team I have us finishing behind potentially is City. And that's just out of respect for what they've done, the heritage of the last 4, 5, 6 years and the battles that we've had. But I was very confident in saying I don't see us finishing behind Arsenal, assuming that we stay healthy, which was the remit of us bringing in Slot, which is, again, the reason why I wanted Liverpool fans to be calm is because we can say what we want about our ownership, but if there's one thing we know, it's that at a front office level, prior to Michael Edwards leaving, that was our competitive advantage. So when we brought back Edwards, that's when I was very, very calm. I said, you know what? On the surface, it does look kind of strange that we haven't signed any players. We haven't brought anyone in. But I think now when we look at how the season has played out, I think it makes a lot of sense in a lot of regards because we have a new manager coming in who's, his reputation is that for the 2 or 3 years he was at Feyenoord, his team was essentially 90% available. Everyone played, very, very limited injuries. So they probably did the contextual analysis of last season, like I did, and said, you know what? We were basically ahead of this. Like we would have been maybe 1 or 2 points behind City. I don't think we would have beat City, but we probably could have got close to 90 points if all of our players stayed healthy and if we didn't have all of these refereeing decisions go against us. So they said, you know what? Let's have this coach come in. He's going to take these same players, set them up a little bit differently, hopefully keep them healthy. And let's actually see which players we need to keep here and which players are going to go next summer. And I think that's basically set us up now perfectly for the next 2, 3, or 4 years, however long we have of slot, in terms of we haven't spent money in the last 3 windows. All that money has just been saved. Our new coach has now had a full season to analyze all of these players and determine who's good enough for us, who's not, who needs to go. And in the meantime, he's won a league title, potentially a Champions League as well, potentially a Carabao Cup, before he's got the chance to sign anyone, before he's had a chance to move any players that aren't good enough on, which is why I think the tough pill to swallow for Arsenal fans is this really, in my opinion, is probably just the beginning for us, which is, I think, the scary part. I think we actually have a chance now. Like, I think next year, Arsenal goes back down to 3rd in the pile. It's going to be City pool again, and then Arsenal will be there making things interesting, in my humble opinion. That's if, again, we handle our business in the summer, which I've always said, I don't think VVD's leaving. I don't think Salah's leaving. Trent, I think, probably will, but I think that's the most replaceable of the 3. So I just think we're in a really, really strong position going forward. And I understand people have concerns about the contracts, and I just think we have to think about this logically. Like, if there's one thing Edwards isn't, he's not a stupid guy. And even if you think Salah could fall off in 2 or 3 times and you're nervous about giving him a contract, we have the ultimate get out of jail free card confirmed with him with Saudi. We know whether it's 3 years from now, 4 years from now, if we call Saudi and say, hey, we're ready,
the offer will always be there. Always.
It'll always be there. 100 million, 80 million, whatever it is, between 70 and 100 million will always be there waiting for us for Salah. So signing him up is literally a 0 risk signing. I think the reason we haven't given out the contracts is we said, you know what, you guys are up there in your age from a football perspective. You're under a new coach. Let's see what you do this year. Let's see how you perform. Show us that at your big age, you can perform over the course of a season to warrant your 300-400K a week. And which is what they've done. They're going to deliver this title. So we're going to have all the dopamine of winning a title, and then they're going to drop the contract news on us, and we're going to be good to go. So I think it's a wonderful time to be a Liverpool fan. So enjoy it. Don't let these Arsenal fans bring you down with their copium and all this nonsense. They're talking about injuries, and we were injured last year and nobody said anything about it. So how history works is the winners win and the losers make excuses. They explain things. So don't go back and forth with them. Let them explain things amongst themselves.
Just on your point, I saw the report earlier, and I think, Redline, big up to you for the super chat. Listen, I'm not one for conspiracies, but I think us losing 57 million is total horse shit, to be honest with you. And I don't believe it not one bit. I don't believe it not one bit. It could be like, the Economist newspaper CEO himself who done his research and said we lost money, and I wouldn't believe him. There is quite literally no way we lost money in a year where last season, let's be honest, the only thing we win is the Carabao Cup. We just made a Champions League qualification, and we literally made about 70 million in profit from literally player sales. And if they're going to use this as an excuse in the summer, then it's just total BS, to be honest with you. And I'm genuinely just like not here from it. If we win like the Premier League, the Champions League, and like, the Carabao Cup, and someone tells me in the summer, okay, we lost 2 million this year, I'd be like, okay, I hear it because of all like the bonuses and stuff like that. Like, I understand, right? But last season, I just don't believe it. And Redline, I think it's just total BS, to be honest with you.
But if you look at, it's unacceptable. If you look at every big club in football, they always make a loss.
Yeah,
as in, like, when I hear fans getting upset about, oh, we're making losses. This might hamper our transfers.
But when you say that, Ram, would it be fair to say it's mostly as well clubs who spend money?
That's also
you can't make £70 million profit in the summer, make 100 million from the Champions League group stages, spend like 10 million on Kies and come tell me, oh, we made a loss. Bro,
I think Arsenal made a loss in the accounts that came out for them a few years ago.
But the losses that big clubs spend will be around about 150 million. Like it'll be about triple the amount.
Ultimately, in the bigger picture, a £57 million loss this year, I think it was a £9 million loss the year before, is not huge. It's not insurmountable for a team like Liverpool. These things will go up and down.
Yeah.
And there have been plenty of seasons. There have been seasons where we've made decent profits, significant profits even, and we haven't invested. So these things that go up and down. This should not impact any potential spending we do in the summer.
If the club is valued at 6 billion, if the club is valued at 6 billion, 57 million loss is nothing.
Yes,
it's absolutely nothing. It's nothing to worry about.
It's nothing. And Husam, I think this is the one summer, and even if you look at it from like a public perception perspective, like this is the one summer where I feel like even the Liverpool journals who are usually pro FSG and just always kind of trying to pull the wool over the fans' eyes in terms of signing, even them, like they're all coming out like it would be a huge surprise if nothing was spent this summer. We can't see like I think this is the one summer where there's no excuse. You didn't back this new manager in his first summer. You didn't back him in January. It can't happen again. Like there will be signings this summer. We're making a bunch of money. We're going to win a bunch of titles and get that prize revenue. And plus we have players on the team that we can potentially sell. Like Darwin, it looks like we can get 70 to 80 for him from Saudi, which is a miracle. Thank God that
yeah. I don't know how, but yeah.
That's because Saudi is still watching Benfica tapes.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie, that money covers those debts. I'm just telling you. That 50 million,
also,
gone.
We just made 80 million from the Champions League, so it's already covered.
No, but also, the bulk of that loss came from Champions League TV revenue, right? But our commercial revenue went up by 37 million pounds. And our matchday revenue increased by 22 million pounds. So it's literally just that the media element. And this year, because of the new format for the Champions League, we're apparent people are saying that we've made close to 100 million euros already, even though we've only just got through the group stage, the Swiss stage, whatever they want to call it. So there's going to be more money coming in this season from Champions League than there ever has been before. So I don't think that
we're making money, guys. Don't worry.
We're going to spend money this summer.
But anyway, back to Liverpool this week, because I don't want to talk about accountancy for the whole bloody episode. Like, can we just talk about Newcastle and Man City? It would be really nice, you guys. Mr. Phillips, I know you like to talk about the football. Go ahead.
Comfortable, man. Comfy settings. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I have not raged or ranted about Liverpool this whole season because it's been comfortable.
Oh, wow. Neither have I, Jamie. You want to know why? Because we've been really good, mate.
Exactly. Even when we dropped points, by the way, I was calm. When we drew to Villa, people were going absolutely mad, saying, that's it, now it's done. It's like, chill, man. Arsenal got Trossard up front. The man's grey. He's the only human being in the world I've seen skin is grey. Do you know what I mean? The man's got no blood. He's not a threat. People got to chill out. But this season, what I've loved about this week, these two games we've had in the last 7 days, City and Newcastle, is the different way we played in both games to still win and keep clean sheets. Against Man City, he played with 2 10s. He didn't play really with a striker. He played with 2 10s. In the first 20 minutes, Man City's the way Pep had Man City set up for the first 20 minutes was very good, and it caught Liverpool off guard a little bit. But Slot so good tactically that he realised what they're doing, dropped McAllister back a bit, filled that hole up basically, and went, you know what, we're going to play like this, but we're going to pick them off on the counter-attack because they're weak defensively. We don't need to go gung-ho against Man City because they are still dangerous, even if they're weaker than shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still dangerous. But when we went forward, it looked like we could score whenever we wanted. And I think Slot went, let's get a clean sheet, get the 2-0, let's get out of here. No job done, easy. And then Newcastle, we went back to a bit like the way we played in previous week, a bit more high tempo, front footed. Szoboszlai, who for the last 2 games has looked like the 10 we've been asking for.
He's been phenomenal. He's been
absolutely phenomenal. His work rate is amazing. He's running in behind the striker is amazing. He's getting into the box a lot now. Yeah, and them 2 games particularly, you look at them back-to-back them games and the way Slot tactically set us up. You know, clean sheets in both games. A lot of people thought these were very difficult games coming up. The way we've cycled through these 5 games in 15 days as well. You know, everyone thought we were going to fall off. This is when our legs go. Liverpool going to get tired now and all this big crap that people talk. And Liverpool have come out of this actually looking better, fresher, fitter, can play the game in different ways if they want to. If they want to go full pelt, they go full pelt. If they want to play counter-attack, they play counter-attack. If they want to play a low block, they play a low block. And that's why Liverpool go win the Premier League title, because we can compete pretty much with any style that comes against us, and we can adapt. And because of the players we got and the way Slot done tactically. So this week, look, it's been fantastic. You know, Arsenal obviously lost to West Ham, couldn't score against Nottingham Forest, really struggled in the last 3 games, and Liverpool have just gone on to pick up what 7 points to Arsenal's 1 point or whatever it is. Yeah, the league's done. Liverpool are just going to coast now till the end of the season, and the job Arne Slot and the boys have done is just phenomenal. And this week alone, though, has gave me a lot of. You know what it was? Do you see the Newcastle game, the football we started to play as well, when we were pinging the ball about as well?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's what's, you know, when we're just pinging the ball back, one touch, the confidence in the players now, they're feeling it now. They know.
And tricks and everything.
It was beautiful seeing it's without taking the mick out of the opposition. They were just in total control. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And this week's been fantastic. This might have been my favourite week of the season so far, these last 7 days.
I just want to echo what Jamie said. Like, look, I think a lot of people had question marks about Slot because they didn't necessarily know him. I, for sure, had question marks about him, not because I didn't think he was a good manager, but ultimately Jurgen Klopp was a known quantity world-class manager, and 99 times out of 100, when you go from that and you follow up with somebody else, inevitably you're probably going to expect there to be a drop-off because the quality, you got one proven quality and one kind of semi-unknown quantity, shall we say. But I think that the most impressive thing, actually there's 2 impressive things. First of all, to have the balls to step into the job and take on the mantle after a legendary manager has been at Liverpool for 9 years. That takes some balls. And then absolutely the tactical flexibility shown to mix it up, to play deep when you need to play high press when you need to play possession football when you need to. And to be honest, even just to play fucking dirty when you need to. When you need to get stuck in, he doesn't mind having, you know, shouting at the players and getting them to get stuck in. But the majority of the time, he wants them to use their head. And it's been a revelation. And look, I think we all loved Jurgen Klopp's full throttle, 100-mile-an-hour football. It's the most exhilarating football we're probably ever going to watch as Liverpool fans. You can't say that wasn't exciting. But I think this more measured approach has proved to be more sustainable. And I think that's the biggest credit you can give to Arne Slot, is that he's.
This is one of the things that Emeka brought up, but there is a guy that we have to credit, and I'm like some people like myself probably should have been a bit more educated on the topic even at the time of the debate. But Ruben Peters and the fantastic job that he's done, and you know it's funny because when I see Arsenal fans and you know. I've went viral for a good reason for once, which is cooking egal. Instead of me going viral for insulting Michael Oliver's mom, I actually went viral for cooking egal. And thing is with the injury stuff, I swear Bukayo Saka played like 70-something minutes in a Carabao Cup game and was brought on when they were like 2-0 up in a Carabao Cup game as well. And you look at what Liverpool are doing, to be honest with you, and it's just, you could tell that there is a reason why myself and Jamie, who are very angry people, by the way. We're very angry, very easily triggered.
Born
Did
angry.
not
Born
get
angry.
rattled whatsoever when we got eliminated by Preston.
No.
Thank God we don't play this weekend. Thank God we don't play this weekend. Why did I say Preston? Plymouth. Thank God we got eliminated in the FA Cup. Like, I'm genuinely so happy I don't have to worry about that competition. I could not care less. And people try to do like, oh, how dare Arne Slot disrespect the FA Cup. Wallahi, Habibi, if Chiesa, Elliott, and these guys can't perform against Plymouth, it's their problem. Yani Slot didn't disrespect the competition. He brought on the players that he thought should be good enough to beat Plymouth. They didn't. So it's not on him. Now, when it comes to like the rotation and stuff, the rotation has been, for the most part, like 99% on point this season. I haven't questioned rotation once. I haven't sat up here and said, oh, why did he play this guy here today? Why did he play that? Like, even like the dead rubber game against PSV, some people are like, I believe in momentum, Husam. We should have went with our starters. I'm like, bro, like, whether we finish first or second makes zero difference. We're through. We don't have to play the playoffs. Like, if we had to like win to get a playoff position, I understand. But we didn't have to. Like, it's fine. We're just
wish
through.
we finished second now.
And also, sometimes, you know, I think me and Jamie agreed on this point 3 weeks ago when we did the show after Plymouth, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Me and Jamie agreed completely on the point, which is you have to know your limitations.
Mm-hmm.
I know I could go to the gym and I know what my personal best is. I know the max I could lift. I'm not gonna go increase 20 kilograms each dumbbell and then break my arm to go like, oh, look at me, I tried. Like, because then the next day I can't come back to the gym because my arm will be broke. Like, my arm will I literally suffer from an injury. So the thing is, with the FA Cup thing, I know our limitations as a squad, and me and Raks agreed on this from the beginning of the season, which is, okay, we understand we have a team if fit, and even Emeka will say, when we first met, I said, if everyone is fit, yes, of course we can challenge, of course we can win. So I know that I've got an 11 that can challenge / win the Premier League if everyone's fit. But I don't think that we have the team to win Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Like, are we like, do people think we're like Real Madrid from 10 years ago, like where your bench option was Isco? Like, guys, you need to understand our limitations. Gravenberg was huffing and puffing in some of those games. Thank God we're out of the FA Cup. Like, I'm not complaining whatsoever. Imagine this Sunday we had to make a FA Cup trip to the Etihad, mate. Because Plymouth are going to the Etihad. How would we all feel? Huh? Going to the Etihad for an FA. And by the way, we probably lose at the Etihad anyway in the FA Cup because that's something they actually want. You get me? So, yeah, I'm happy that we just understand our limitations and Slot understands our limitations. And in terms of future, which I want to be the next topic, so let me just grab these super chats and then we'll talk about the future a little, because we all agree this week we absolutely cooked. Before I grab the super chats, guys, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Everyone, please do hit the like button, do subscribe. There's only one other content creator who has a channel on this stream, which is Jamie. So make sure guys go subscribe to Jamie's football chats. Ram has a channel, been inactive for 5 years, but subscribe to his channel anyway, in case he decides to be active. W's in the chat for my guy David Race for the super chat. I'll read it at the end of this segment so we can segue it as the discussion topic, which is this summer. Salah and Van Dijk, men amongst boys, past pain, worth it all. It's not a matter of men amongst boys, but it's a matter of leadership. I've always referred to this team as the Warriors team that beat the Celtics in the NBA, if you want an NBA analogy, with Salah being the Steph Curry of this team. Like, it's different when you win with KD versus when you win on your own later when no one expects you to. And this is what's happening to us this season. And you could see the leadership in the NBA team of a Steph and a Clay and a Draymond. And now you can see the leadership of Salah, Van Dijk. People don't understand. Just watch Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Just watch Virgil van Dijk on the pitch. Andy Robertson would ruin the offside trap about 8 times out of 10 if Van Dijk then existed, shouting at him the whole time. Okay, Ram, just get over it. Robertson's traps. Big up to Josh who says Liverpool's war chest doesn't exist. If our war chest is...
Bro, what?
You want to get me cancelled on the first day of Ramadan, Josh? You fraud. You fraud. Man said the Nigerian priest wants to give free money. Whatever happened to those emails? I stopped getting those emails as well. Like, the last time I got that email was like 10 years ago. I wonder if he's somewhere to be found, man. Run me my money, man. You fraud. I never even had a credit card. I don't even have PayPal. It's crazy, mate. Big up to Ed who says, big up Husam on the panel on chat on holiday today. Want to say up the Reds. Enjoy your holiday, you cantaloupe farmer, you fraud. Enjoy your holiday. Your friend hasn't appeared. And if he does, I promise he's going to get banned. But he hasn't appeared. Big up, though. Anyway, this is the super chat that segues us straight into the segment of talking about the future. And we'll start with Emeka because he's on limited time. Because he has a birthday to catch up to. And K-Mac was actually the one that's late. As you guys can see, he's not even here right now, mate. You get me? So, yeah. Big up to you, David, who says, reports of now war chest summer of 200 million. Things don't add up. 110 million from Caicedo, 60 million pound profit over the summer, 100 million from Champions League. If FSG were serious, we will spend 200 million on top of sales this summer, but I don't see us spending anything above sales, to be honest. Emeka, you will have a positive outlook on the summer this summer. So elaborate. Tell me. Talk to me.
Yeah, I genuinely have a positive outlook on it for the reasons I mentioned, where I just don't think optically they can get away with not spending again. Like, okay, this is a new manager. You didn't back him. He brought you a title. He's now had the chance to assess the squad. And one thing, like with Slot, I think maybe it's a Dutch thing. I think he's also been fairly direct too. Like, he's even at the start of the year, he was telling us, like, I'm fine with the squad. I don't want to add anyone, etc. Even if we disagreed. And now I think he's been pretty open. Like, yeah, we've done the assessments. We've looked at it. We know what we want. We're going to go get it. Like, I think he's very direct in that sense. I feel like spending isn't something that we should be concerned about this summer. It's more about now making sure we get the right profiles and making sure we get the right, we select the right positions to invest that money. And as I said, that's the one area where I've always trusted the leadership of Edwards. Like, we don't spend a lot, but the reason we're in the position we are in today is because when we actually do go out there and spend, like, we're identifying elite profiles, and that's what we are targeting. You can say what we want about the players that have rejected us, but we haven't gone out and spent 40 million on a Mikel Merino or 40 million on a Calafiori. That's just like, these guys aren't game-changing signings. If you're seeing Liverpool putting in a bid, it's for a Zubamendi, it's for a Caicedo. We went and we got VVD, elite profile. We went and we got Allison, elite profile. Konate, elite physical profile. Robertson, when we got him, like, was no one knew who he was, but when you actually saw him play, he had an elite physical profile for the Prem. So, and you can go position by position. Gravenberch, Sobo, these are all just elite physical players, and obviously with the technical ability as well. So, I know a couple of weeks ago, even before all the Isak rumors started, I sent you a message, Husam, and I'm like, when I started seeing Arsenal, like, them being linked to them and that heating up, I'm like, Husam, don't be surprised if you start seeing our name jump ahead of them in that queue. That's the sort of player where if they become available, our board will look and say, hey, let's try to go get this guy. Let's pony up the 100 or whatever million it is, and let's see if we can get the player. If the player says no, again, that's out of our control. But the players that our board are actually going to go for are going to be those Isak types, in my opinion. And as I said, I think we're actually in a good financial position to make.
Can I ask you a question that I was asked on Kopish? I have to interrupt you because I have to bring you this question.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a hypothetical world. Liverpool end the season. I'm not going to be greedy. Newcastle win their first trophy in 55 years. They win the Carabao Cup. We win the Premier League and the Champions League. Okay? So yeah. I'm not being greedy at all there. So we win both of those competitions, right? Summer starts. I'm going to give you a hypothetical scenario of two realistic options. Okay? Let's say Arne Slot comes to the club and says, guys, I've watched Alexander Isak, and this is the guy that I want. Let's say, for the sake of this argument, Newcastle want 100 million. What happens if Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes want Dominic Solanke, as an example, for 100 million? Whose word comes through? What happens in that scenario, in your honest opinion? Because the reason I ask you that question is, Slot is not Klopp, I understand that, but he hasn't built that up yet. He hasn't built the power yet.
Yeah.
Slot before last summer had no choice because he's just coming in from Feyenoord. He ain't gonna bitch in the media. But now, a year later, if he wins stuff, in front of the eyes of the fans and the media, he's the guy with power. So if that scenario happens, how do you think we resolve it as a football club going forward? And in terms of us signing Isak, do you think that hinders the rest of the things that we want, like a left back and other things?
Yeah. So I'll answer both. So your first part about, so you're saying if Slot wants a player, but Edwards wants a different player, how do we resolve?
Yes.
So at the moment, it's tough because he's going to have won a ring. It's hard to say. I think in the end, I think Edwards was based on everything we've read, he's been signed and given that full power. Like, because his issue when he left was that the coach overrode some of his ideas, right, and his decisions. So I think if it actually comes to a push-pull point, I think Edwards would override what Slot wants. And I think Slot's okay with that because that's what he signed up for. He signed up to be a coach. He knows that he's at a bigger club than he's ever been at. Whoever we bring through the door is going to be at a talent level that's much higher than whatever he was dealing with at Feyenoord or AZ Alkmaar, right? So I think push comes to shove, I think he'll be okay with that. And then the second part about one signing impacting another. The reason I don't think that's an issue this summer is I think we're actually, as I said, we're well positioned in terms of players on our team that we can actually sell and to fund our summer, that I think we can actually sign 3 or 4 positions and spend maybe like 150 mil. And I did a bit of an exercise on this. Like I said, so we know for sure that we want a left back. It sounds like from everything. We want a left back and a center.
Yeah, that's definitely a position they're looking at 100%.
Right? So a left back, you're generally not going to spend more than 30 million on that. 30, like I think they're quoting Jarell Hato at 30 million. So let's say that costs 30 million, right? We're also hearing that we want to get a center back, which let's use the Bournemouth center back just as a reference. His release clause is 50. Yeah. So let's just say if we wanted to get someone of that quality, let's say we're going to spend around 50 million, right? That gets us to 80 now. So now let's say we want to get Isak. Let's just say we want Isak and it's going to cost 120, right? So that gets us now to 200 million pounds. That's how much it's going to cost for those 3 players, right? So now let's say, now let's look at who we can get rid of on our team. As I said, we're probably going to get around 70 million for Nunes. That's a confirmed. That was a confirmed bid. And I'll hold my hand up. I was wrong about.
By the way, that celebration stream is still happening. Just so everyone.
The only thing is, I'm not sure. Depends, because no one else in the world is going to pay 70 million. So I think they wanted 70 million because they wanted to buy a strike in that specific window. If they're bidding against themselves, I'm not sure it gets to 70
million. They were
million.
always bidding against themselves. Nobody was going to pay 70.
No, but but the difference is that was the winter window, so they had a time frame. In the summer window, they've got more time.
And that's a possibility.
Listen, I'm not advocating keeping Darwin Nunes at any cost.
Please don't be the guy to advocate this. Please.
And that's the thing, though. Like we know from everything we've read, us getting a striker is dependent on our attackers going. So if you actually look at all the mouthpieces of Liverpool, you keep hearing it now. It's highly expected Darwin's going to go. It's very they're basically preparing us for his exit, which is most likely coming. And they're probably.
I'm ready. Don't worry about it. I'm ready, guys.
We're all ready.
Right. We've been ready.
Whoa. Why is everyone joining the Darwin hate club? We closed our doors like 6 months ago. Nah, don't try to get you stay on that side, all this I have belief bullshit. You stay on that side. Don't come join us. Don't join me.
Don't do that.
You guys trying to sneak in like Tom Little when he said, Nunes will score plenty goals. I fell in love with him.
No. The difference, Husam, the difference is, Tom said he would play him as a centre midfielder. I guarantee you, none of us said that. None of us were that stupid to say something like that. I can guarantee that for a fact.
Listen, if you guys are worried about Nunes getting sold, I have a gift for all of you. Saudi Arabia's calling, baby. Let's go. Saudi, call me, guys. I will personally, I'm in Jordan. I'm 3 hours away. I can be in Saudi. Wallahi, I will drive him. Wallahi, if you need it, wallahi, I will drive him to the stadium myself. Put him in a car next to me. Wallahi, I'll pay petrol. The whole way. I'll live stream from my house all the way to Al Nasser Stadium. I will drive. personal chauffeur. Anytime he needs to piss, I will park and he can piss. Anytime he wants something like snacks, I will buy him on me. I will get money. You get me, and I'll drive him there. No problem. Please, it's just the 3 years of BS finally done. Everyone pretending we signed someone good. Everyone pretending that he's a good signing. It's fine. It's over.
Yeah.
The nightmare is finished. Yeah. Thank God.
The ordeal is over, and I think he knows the ordeal's over too. I think that the final moment was the Aston Villa miss. He knew it. We all knew it. That it was over. Anyone, even his staunchest supporters at that moment knew it's like we're gonna be looking in another direction now.
Yeah, even Drifty gave up now.
Yeah, like it's over.
Even Ensman TV gave up. You want to know why? He's always busy for the Friday show now. He doesn't want to take the cooking anymore.
So we know that's coming, right? So as I said,
I understand what you're saying in terms of the summer, and the other guys as well will chime in. But with the summer stuff, like, I don't want to move too idealistic because this ownership has let us down before. Like, if there is one thing we can all bitch about, and rightfully so, it's the windows. That's like the one thing that we're in agreement on. Hiring Klopp, fantastic. Hiring Slot, fantastic. Both fantastic managers. But it's just that one thing. And I always feel like we kind of have to like sell our kidney to fix our stomach. But now we got no kidney. Like that's the problem with us. And I feel like moving forward, I hope genuinely that changes. Because if you deep it, it's not just Jota and Nunez. Because you mentioned Jota and Nunez, right? I'm going to give a complete objective reality, no BS. I'm not going to exaggerate. One of Robertson and Tsimikas leaves. Elliot. One of Gomez and Kwanzaa leaves. Elliot, most likely, as reported, is going to leave. Jota and Nunez leave both, in my opinion, because Slot's tired of both, as per the reports. Kelleher will leave because he's not going to play third choice goalkeeper. But we have Mamardashvili, so I'm going to put like this finger back up. So now I think we need 5 things we need to do. In my honest, objective opinion of the situation, just based off evidence, I think Diaz might ask to leave. Now, if that happens, now I've got 6 things to do this summer. Now, I understand not every player that leaves need to be replaced because Isak is worth Jota, Nunez, and Diaz together. Like, obviously, him being in the team is better than all 3 combined, but you still need some form of body in there. You ain't going to play Isak in every competition every single minute. Like, you need a body in there, which is why you need like someone else over here. Probably need a left back, probably need a center back, as you said, Hato, 30 million, 40 million, whatever it is. Probably still need a midfielder right now. He's not a fan of Endo, as an example. I'd keep Endo, bench option, solid, but he's not a fan of Endo, so he might want him moved on. So I do feel like there is quite a bit to do this summer, though. I'm not even gonna lie. There is quite a few things to do.
Well, I mean,
I've got a question.
Whether
this is given all 3 stay, by the way.
This is the thing.
Yeah. I'm assuming Trent's gone. I'm assuming Trent's gone in my calculations. My calculations has him gone. I think it's just that's a dream we just got. Trust me, I was one of the biggest dreamers in that regard. I'm like, boyhood club. He'd never do us like that. Looking at this guy and his body language it's clear. It's very clear that he's on his way out, which is fine. Do what you got to do, but. So again, his wages are going to free up for us. You just named like 5 players that I think pretty much everyone you named, we can probably get at minimum 30 for each. 30 for Kelleher, probably get 30 for Elliott. Let's say conservatively, let's get 50 or 60 for Darwin.
60 for Darwin, yeah, fair.
60, right? Let's get 60 for Darwin. Like Gomez, he's mentioned that he wants out. I don't think he'll be able to leave this summer because of this injury, but who knows? Maybe we could get 20 or 30 for him. So I think there's actually like a decent amount of sales we can actually make before we even look at the budget we had pre-sales, which from everything being reported, the budget at the minimum contained a left back and a center back. And then I think a striker was dependent on Darwin leaving. I think a midfielder was dependent on a midfielder leaving. And then obviously if Trent leaves, we're going to have to get a replacement there as well. So as I said, I just think we're in a position now where, and another factor to consider is Edwards is an arrogant guy too. He's a guy that thinks his shit doesn't stink, and he hears everything. He hears everything. He hears everything, and he hears that, oh, you only did it because of Klopp. You couldn't do it without him. y'all weren't backing him, and he's the type of guy that's going to feel like, okay, you think I can only do this one time? Watch me do this again. And that's why I believe this summer, like Slot has set them up with the perfect foundation for them to operate the way they want to operate. We're coming off a win, so the fan base is going to be a bit more calm and a bit more patient. And then now they can just pick apart at the lineup and add pieces where we need to add them. And a lot of the people we get is going to be similar to our Edward signings from before. They might be people we never heard, like they just come out of nowhere. We never considered them, but the nerds behind the scenes are like, you know what? These guys are the right guys for us.
And that's why I don't think we get Isak, because I think objectively it's more Liverpool to do like Cunha, Joao Pedro.
Not for that position, Husam. Especially like the one thing Liverpool has is like that heritage at the striker position. Like we've always had killers in the striker.
Are we sure you want to go there?
Besides Darwin. Like Darwin is like, we kind of deviated from our normal path.
That's bad heritage. That's like 10-2 Bayern Munich heritage. That's bad heritage.
Look, at the end of the day, if anyone listened to Slot's embargo section, they already know the players they're going for.
Yeah.
The transfer, I personally think they already got the players they want and the positions they want. They've got it all set up. And as soon as the transfer window opens in the summer, that business is going to get started, in my opinion. What everyone's got to remember is Michael Edwards works a year in advance. He always does. That's why we didn't buy anyone in the summer. They've worked out this whole season what they want. Slot, I said this on Coppish yesterday. I don't think we would have won the Premier League this year if we went and bought too many players this summer. So I think it would have messed everything up a little bit. Yeah. I think that's why we only wanted the one player in Zubimendi, just that one player in that midfield area. And now I look at Gravenberch and I look at Zubimendi and I don't know who's better, to be fair. So, it's it might have worked around quite well. But listen to Slot, because I've not heard our managers in past speak like that when it goes, me and sporting director have already sat down and we know what positions we're getting. Like it's already thought of, we already know, and we're going to attack the summer.
Yeah, because we have a lot to do. That's my thing. Yeah. Like, we have to be on it.
And that's why I think that they're ahead of us. Like we don't know anything in the boardroom. We don't know anything that's going on, but I do believe they've had talks constantly all year. And now they know. I think that FA Cup game, when Slot made that massive change in the FA Cup and put them players out, all them players were playing for their future.
Yep.
And in that game, I think Slot realised who he does need and who he doesn't want. If you look at our midfield, he obviously wants Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones. Them four are perfectly sold.
Yeah, four I agree, completely.
If you look at Harvey Elliott, Tyler Morton, and Wataru Endo,
Slot is gonna have to keep one at least. I'm sorry.
Elliott can't even get on the pitch when we're 2-0 up against Newcastle at home.
Yep.
Right? Tyler Morton's not liked.
He's gone.
Wataru Endo for me has changed the manager's opinion on him a little bit, and I think because Endo doesn't kick off, because of Endo's age as well, he doesn't need to play every week. He doesn't have to demand anything. He's a good player to have in your squad. People like Wataru Endo is what squads need. He's one of them players that squads need. He's not going to sit there and kick off. He's not going to moan about playing time. Harvey Elliott's such a young guy, he needs playing time, or he's going to go backwards as a footballer. And I think Endo stays, and I think Tyler Morton and Harvey Elliott leave. I think Stefan Bajcetic has got a massive pre-season. If he can prove his worth in pre-season, he'll stay. And that leaves one more midfielder to come in. I think they know the left back they're buying. I think they know the centre back.
Can I ask you a question, Jamie?
I think they know the striker they're buying.
Do you think the Zubimendi ship sailed? Honestly?
Yeah. That's done now. That's done. I think Gravenberch is a better player.
They're different players.
Can I put
Gravenberch can.
Yeah, they're different players, but they would have played the same position with McAllister. It wouldn't be both of them. It'd be one or the other. And now Gravenberch is that player. McAllister is better than Zubimendi as well. Like McAllister, for me, is top 5 best midfielders in world football right now. And he doesn't get his flowers like he should do. The man's exceptional at everything.
He's getting that Gundogan treatment when he was at Dortmund.
Yeah, he's so good, man. And if you look at the left-back, centre-back situation, we definitely need players there. That will happen. And the striker, look, Isak's not happening. The reason Isak's not happening is because Newcastle, for me, are probably going to finish top 5, which gets some Champions League football. And now they've not got that sponsorship thing to worry about. They're going to spend shitloads in the summer. They don't need to sell Isak. With that Champions League revenue.
Caveat with Isak was always number one, that they don't get Europe. That was always if they get Champions League, then I agree. Like Isak's not leaving, they have no
No
reason to.
chance.
The
No
only
chance.
way Isak leaves is if he pushes for, like, he has to say,
He
okay,
agitates.
I
Yeah.
want.
He's got 3 years left. He's got 3 years left in his contract.
Yeah, it's
I
got to be
can't see
150 million.
Isak.
It's gotta be
I can't see Isak going unless if they get Champions League football. No chance.
It
The
won't
only
be
person that buys him, the only person that buys Isaac is someone who only needs that one position in their team filled in the summer transfer window. Because how much money he's going to cost?
120.
I think
too much.
I think maybe next there's a possibility he could go next year, because next summer he would have 2 years left on his contract, and that depending on, obviously it also depends on where Newcastle are, finances, and whether they're in Champions League again and all this kind of stuff. But I'm pretty confident we're going to do significant business this summer. A, because I think we need to, and B, if we think about the only time Klopp ever really came out and said we are going to do business this summer was the summer. Was the in the season where everything went pear shaped, and he said, what he said to the journalists, you guys
remember
are right.
them times, Rax? Remember?
I do.
Good old days,
Yeah,
mate.
Yeah. And he came out and he said to the journalists, "You guys are right. I was wrong." Right? He said, "We're going to do business. We're going to make it right." And Klopp stuck to his word. We did do significant business. These guys have come out. It almost came out. I think it was in midweek. It almost from lots of different lots of different reports were coming out saying Liverpool are going to do business. They're going to strengthen in summer. They've assessed the squad. All this kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I'd be surprised if they don't. But
I wouldn't be surprised about that. What Ramel just put, I wouldn't be surprised, because they need a goalkeeper, and their homegrown quota is very, very low. And this seems like a possible deal, if that makes sense.
It's possible. And just quickly before I leave, I agree with you, Husam, in terms of because of the cost, and you, Jamie, as well, in terms of the cost. I get it, why on the surface it looks like Isak's very unlikely, but the caveat for me was always just the fact that we have that Darwin sale. Like, it looks like we have a get out of jail free card with him. So from there, from the way that our owners look at it, everything's a math problem, balancing the books. They're going to essentially look at it like, Newcastle's saying 150, but if Isak walks into the office and says, I want to go, that price comes down. Let's negotiate now. The player has told you he wants to go. Here's 120. So if we can get 70 or 80 for Nunes, our owners are going to look at it like, we're getting the best striker in the world for 40 million pounds. So yes, it's 120, but we're basically just shipping one out and bringing one in and just putting a little bit on top of it, right? The wages will go up a little bit, of course, but we can balance that out in other positions. That's why I feel like he's the real possibility. But again, Newcastle can't Europe. That's what it comes down.
There is something to be said for that, because I think
Thank you for joining us, Emeka. I know you have to leave. I don't want to keep you for too long. I've got a birthday to get to, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Big up to you, Emeka.
Big up.
I think there is something to be said for that, because I think when Klopp was here, there was always a little bit of a, I don't know if it was a rumor or there was one of the accusations that was thrown at him is he was loyal. He was always a bit more reluctant to spend money in the transfer market potentially than to be frank, some of the fan base and maybe other managers. I think with Hughes and Edwards, they are running the ship now, and I think Slot has a say, but he doesn't have as big a say as Klopp did, for example. And I think they will try to reshape the squad in their image, because I think significant work needs to be done anyway. And we will see. I think we've recruited really well in the past, but this will be the first summer when we see an Edwards Hughes summer transfer window, and it has to land for us because we need it. We are coming towards the end of a cycle, whether you like it or not, with Salah and Van Dijk. And like, if these guys are playing out of their skin, but I don't think it's going to go on that much longer. Like Salah in 2 years' time, I can't see it going.
I don't even want to imagine it. Let's just enjoy the current version.
Yeah, exactly. But we need, like we were saying, we work a season or two in advance. We need to have that thing in our mind, because at some point we can't always rely on Salah. We can't be wheeling out Salah when he's 38 years old or whatever. at some point there needs to be a succession plan.
I would say though, when it comes to this transfer budget that people like to throw in terms of, but in terms of this whole £200 million thing, like I've never been too obsessed with pricing. It's just get me the quality of players, whether it be 5 million or 50 or 100. Like there's so many bargains you can go out there. Like if we are looking for this so-called midfielder and Zubimendi's not on the cards, then maybe we don't know. They might take a trip to Germany. They might look at Angelo Stiller. They might look at Kimmich. We don't know. It's just give me those players that are quality enough that Arne Slot would like, that the club would like, and that could propel us forward. Because at this moment, we are doing well with a team that Slot hasn't really had his chance to put his full implementation in. Because if he can do this with, I'm going to say it right now, if he can do this with Klopp's team, who knows what he can do with Slot's team, with his own team and his own players.
Do you know what? You're right. And obviously, this number 9 situation, I think is what a lot of people are going to look at in the summer, yeah. I think it's a bit different at Liverpool, though, because I think our number 9 just plays right wing. You know, and he is Liverpool's main goal scorer. Always has been since he's been at Liverpool. He's Liverpool's main goal scorer. It's just a fact. You know, people don't like the release.
That, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's Liverpool's main goal scorer. He always will be. I've said this all year, by the way, and people come at me all the time. I don't think Isak and Salah work in the same team. I really don't. I've said it all season. I still don't think they will. I really don't. Salah is your main striker. I think personally, we go after someone like Cunha as that striker who will score goals. Cunha will still score more goals than Jota and Darwin.
But Isak has Nunez's pace and power, but with finishing. So that's why I don't agree with the whole they won't work together. All the balls he plays in behind to Nunez that Nunez ends up missing, Isak will just score.
Yeah, he will. He will. I just don't think it'll work like people think it will. And plus, I don't know how good Isak is against low blocks. I have no idea. When he comes to Liverpool, he will be marked out of games every week because you're playing against low blocks constantly. Look at Pedro Neto at Wolves, yeah? Pedro Neto looked like one of the best wingers in the Premier League because at Wolves, he was allowed to do whatever he wants because no one's playing low block against Wolves and he has a lot more freedom. Now he's gone to Chelsea. He's not quite the same player. He's not quite the same player. He's played a lot of minutes. He's just not quite the same player because it's a more difficult situation. And I look at Isak and I think, I'm not, Look at him at Real Sociedad. He was okay. At Newcastle, he's fantastic. Would he carry on that fantastic trajectory at Liverpool Football Club? I have my doubts about it. But it's not me saying he's not a tremendous footballer, by the way. I just have my doubts about it. But someone like Cunha, who I think will mould better in a Liverpool front three with Mo Salah because of the way he plays and adapts. The way Jamie, he can drop in.
Can I play devil's advocate?
I don't like talking facts, but it's just the way I do. I get everything right, by the way. But it's just the way it is. I mean,
not everything, Jamie.
Could I play devil's advocate, Jamie, right? Because you used Isak with, obviously, he wasn't amazing at Real Sociedad. Could you say the same thing with Cunha? He's having a great season now, but before, especially when he was in the Bundesliga with Leipzig and with Hertha Berlin, he was very, very frustrating to watch because he had so much talent, but the end product was absolutely diabolical at times.
Yeah, that's why I like both Isak and Cunha in the Premier League. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're both good in the Premier League. But I think Cunha, look, my whole thing on it, I know people will disagree with me, and I get it. And I said this before, if we don't have Mo Salah in this football team, go and buy Isak, he'll be your main goal scorer. I just think we're a little bit weird and a little bit different because our main goal scorer at Liverpool Football Club, since he's been at Liverpool Football Club, is Mohamed Salah. Yeah, he's third all-time Liverpool goal scorer for a reason. You know, if you give him 4 more years, I'm telling you, he's going to try and catch Ian Rush. Yeah, he's Liverpool's main goal scorer. He plays on the right-hand side. I think it's just a bit, I don't know. I think if you get a player like Cunha in, who can score goals and get you double figures in a season as a striker, but he also can do that bit where he drops deep, can hold up the ball, can link play beautifully, can keep possession really well, can play with his back to goal fantastic because he's strong. And you've got an excellent left winger as well, who's got like Cody Gakpo, who's a bit like Mo Salah in a way where, you know, he's got an eye for goal and he's in that kind of way. I think that really works. And then players like Dominic Szoboszlai, for me, is only getting better and better. You know, players, I think that works as a unit. But yeah, I like Isak. I'm not going to diss on Isak. I think Isak would be perfect if Mo Salah leaves. You buy Isak as your main goal scorer, and you go and buy like wingers that will assist him, get him the opportunities, make the opportunities for him, and still ship in some goals here and there. Personally.
Okay, let me just do the rest of the super chats before we move on to talk about the Champions League. The champions. That's what Raks was referring to at the start of the stream because he's greedy. What do you expect from a crypto trader? Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Yes, make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. The only problem with Raks is he bought the Hawk Tour coin. It's crazy. Yeah, he fell for it. He fell for it. Anyway, make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Guys, we're not even at 200 likes. We got 600 people. I'm literally gonna start fasting in like 2 hours. Well, I have some shame. Some decorum.
Husam bought the Trump coin, by the way. So yeah.
How many likes are we on, Husam?
Yeah, and I made profit. Hold that, mate. 193 likes.
193 and 600. Nah, what are we doing?
Come on. With 600
do
people
better,
here,
guys. Do better.
Double in chat for my guy Aboudi. You get me? Big up to you, Aboud, habibi. By the way, for all the guys tuning in right now, tomorrow, inshallah, we have a Ramadan Q&A at 11 p.m. UK time because all the FA Cup games are boring. No one cares about Pizza League, so I'm going to let Mo do the Inter-Napoli game. No one cares about La Liga, so, you know, whoever does La Liga watch-alongs will do, like, Madrid, Betis. So tomorrow, inshallah, 11 p.m. UK time, it's a thank you for 46K. And the Ramadan Kareem Q&A. So appreciate it. Shukran, Habibi AMD. Shukran. I watched that, by the way. That was actually a crazy interview for like president to president. Yeah. No respect whatsoever.
Oh, that was... Man, listen, anyhow, it would just be Liverpool's luck. Fucking World War III breaks out just as we're about to lift the fucking Premier League. Can you imagine if that shit happens again?
Right. You know that meeting, man. You know that meeting today, yeah, because I found it hilarious, man. You know that meeting today, that was FSG and Klopp in the boardroom before he walked in.
What
you know, you know that, don't you?
It's Klopp Zelensky in that case.
Yeah.
Well, FSG's being up to Klopp. You've not been thankful, Klopp. You're not thankful.
You're not been thankful. John's just sitting there, Klopp. You're not been thankful. You ain't said thanks yet today.
Wow. Nunes is not Saudi quality, maybe Pakistan or India. Habibi, I don't care if FC Delhi want him, bro. Just get rid. Do you think bro, send him to Wales, bro. Like, I don't care. Send him to Limerick. Who gives a shit, bro?
He can go play for TNT. Is that
just get rid of the guy, man. Yeah. Like, you get me, Jay the activist. You should actively just want him gone. Big up to Mario says Danz will replace Jota. Hopefully Isak will replace Darwin. Hato, Costas. But Jota should replace Endo. I reckon that might happen. But Jatic replacing Endo doesn't work because Endo is a different type of player. Like, you get me. But Jatic is more like the Gravenberg type. Pass left, pass right 500 times. Spanish DNA. You get me? That's kind of what Jatic is.
Dan's, I think, when it comes to kids like Dan's, I think let's not put too much pressure on them. Let's either loan him out or give him, get a bit of game time here and there. Jota is a proven Premier League goal scorer. I think we should let the kids develop. This is the problem that Arsenal fans had. They were like, "Oh, we'll bring in Miles Skelly. He's going to be a gem for next season. We've got Ethan Wanyeri." Like, leave these kids alone. Let them develop, and let them come in every now and then, or send them out on loan to good clubs where they can get good experience, and then let's see where they are. Like, if Jadon Danns becomes a rotation forward in 3 or 4 years for Liverpool, I'll be happy. I don't want to put any kind of expectation on him to become a world-class striker leading the line for Liverpool week in, week out.
Yeah, he's too young.
I'll be happy. And if he does become a world-class forward at Liverpool, amazing. No one would be more happy than me. But the vast majority of kids, just like the vast majority of the kids who played for us in the Carabao Cup.
That's a lie. I'll be happier because I wanted Dan starting over.
Dan's will never play for Liverpool. Dan's will never play for Liverpool.
But this is the thing. But I said that the day we won the Carabao Cup, most of these kids, I'm really happy for them. but most of them won't be good enough for Liverpool. Most of them won't have a career for Liverpool in Liverpool. And you saw at the summer, half of them left.
Thanks, right.
Slot don't like kids, man.
Actually, the best one in the summer. Wow, Jamie, sounds familiar.
Slot don't like kids, man. He's like,
sounds familiar. I actually think the best kid left in the summer from last season, which is Bobby Clark, as in like the most experienced kid.
I think McConnell's better.
So you're gonna. So
McConnell's better.
Yeah. So here we go. So everyone's gonna waffle now. So in the summer, if I ask you who was the kid that impressed us the most, you wouldn't have said Bobby Clark. Away at Forest performance.
McConnell actually got a GNA last season.
To be fair, I actually said McConnell last season.
I believe Jamie. I don't believe Ram. That's the thing. Because you are like, you're sly. You're like a fox. You're a sly little fox.
What the hell? I'm talking facts. He actually registered last season.
No, you're not. If I met you last year, you'd have said Bobby Clark. Big up to Jack, who says, I know people have mixed opinions on Josh from Anfield sector, but he's well connected. These people to top journals. He said on stream, Isak is first on the list. Yeah, but so was Zubimendi first on the list. A lot of times you don't get the first on the list.
My dad went on the first on the list, but she got there eventually. Do you know what I mean? So you never know. You never know.
Jamie, yo.
You never know.
Big up, Jack. On that note, Haaland won't be that guy at City. Vibes is what Jay's saying. Now, I'm with you. I do think Isak would work with Salah 100%. But, you know,
I'm hoping.
His opinion.
I'm hoping. As I said, everyone in the chat might get what I'm saying wrong. I rate Isak as a footballer. I've said that many times. I just feel like we might be, because Salah is the number 9 in our team, just plays on the right hand side of the pitch. I'm just working at the balance, guys. I'm all about balancing a team. I think Liverpool do it exceptionally well this season because we've got the best balance from goalkeeper to striker in our team.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about for me. So it's not rating a footballer.
The most important thing, whether it's Isak or Cunha, is whether Slot and the board are happy with the player that we bring in, man. That's all that matters.
FSG will use we won the league by signing no one. Will do it again. They've done this before. How will this summer be any different? This summer is different because last summer we signed no one. That's my the only honest reason I can tell you, Cider. But you know my feelings on this ownership. You know I'm FSG out. I'm probably the strongest FSG out guy on YouTube, if you would like. I'm the most loud about it. And I think this summer we have to buy someone. I'm not gonna go another year without buying someone. Come on, it's obviously gonna happen.
Can I ask everyone a question on his Isak stuff? Just just came into my head. When we had Mane, Bobby, and Salah, right? Mm-hmm. For me, the best front three in Europe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would anyone have swapped Isak for Bobby at the time?
No.
At the time, no, because he was still at Sociedad.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying
is probably in Dortmund.
But what I'm trying to say is that Bobby.
But this version of Isak, yes.
This version of Isak and prime Bobby, would you swap them?
No.
Yes. For me.
No. Prime Bobby, definitely not.
Because
I would say yes.
And Bobby's nowhere near the goal scorer that Isak is, obviously. But I don't think Mane and Salah would have been as good and they're without Bobby in that team growing when they first came to Liverpool.
Yeah, but the reason why I disagree with you is not I get your concept, but the reason why I'm disagreeing with you is because I think this current version of Mo is the playmaker passer version.
Yeah, but he's still got 20. What he's still got 40 goals.
Yeah, but we have to now because Nunes didn't turn out to be what we thought. That's the problem.
Also, Isak has proved with Gordon. Gordon is a goal-scoring wide forward. I mean, he's played well. Isak has proved that he can play off them, and those two can form a good partnership. But I personally, I'm with you, Jamie. I would keep Bobby because.
I'm just talking about balance, guys. It's not the players. It's balance.
But remember, Prime Bobby.
I think it could work. I think it could work as well.
Prime Bobby was doing the link-up play, but was also registering about 45 GA as well. He was doing aesthetics plus output at the same time.
I think he only ever got. I think the highest Prem goals he got one season was 11 or 12 or something like that.
Nah, it was 15.
No, he got
17,
15.
18.
That was his highest as a centre forward. And remember. Bobby used to get mocked for being a defending striker. Do you remember? He never scored goals.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm just saying. People might be getting what I'm saying wrong. I completely rate Isak. I think he's the best striker in the Premier League, in my opinion, right? And probably the best finisher in the Premier League. My whole thing though is about balance. I'm one of them. If I was a chef, I'd be texture over taste. Do you know what I mean? I'm about balancing a football team. That's what I'm about. And if it's better balance of someone like Cunha with Salah instead of Isaac with Salah, that's who I'd rather go and get. Yeah, maybe
I hear you. Victor Gyökeres Nunes 2.0 is what Jay's saying. PTSD is real. I had title race PTSD, so I don't mind if you have Portuguese League PTSD. I respect it. I don't have a problem with it. I understand, I get where you're coming from. The only thing I will say with Gyökeres is he did play in Coventry City.
But he kept up
Ram
his
Raks,
form
you
from
just
last
guys
season.
sit there and nod, that's it?
No, but
I
was letting you talk, bro.
I don't know what to
You're
say
telling me that I can't interrupt you, but now when I don't interrupt you, you're like, oh, you're not talking.
No, but I finished my point about 17 seconds ago.
Yeah. Oh, it must have been a delay then. But
Oh,
for me, like even with Gyökeres, it's a bit different because Nunes, you saw from one season, he did it. But with Gyökeres, he continued that form because I think the start of the season, he was on like 15 goals in about 10 games, I think, or something like that. So it's showing that he has continued that form and he's done it both in Europe and also in the Portuguese League.
Gyökeres. The thing with Gyökeres, he's got a release clause, yeah? Why has no one attempted to go for Gyökeres yet? Like, what's about Gyökeres that no one wants him?
Age.
I don't think must be something that teams have seen. Arsenal desperately needed a striker. Go and get Gyökeres, man. You got him for the future.
Oh, you think it's a Tony thing, similar to Tony?
What is there about Gyökeres that people are not going? Is he 28?
Oh, he's 26. He's 26.
26. What's his release clause?
Oh, he's 26, turning 27. Sorry.
What's his release clause?
100 million euros.
100 million euros.
70 million pounds, I think.
100 million euros, mate. I already know the number.
So about 80 million quid for a striker that bangs goals. Yeah, he's going to probably be cheaper than Alexander Isak. Yeah, but more people would rather have Isak over Gyökeres. So obviously, there's something about Gyökeres that some teams obviously don't fancy.
But ultimately, good recruitment is you got to believe in your own recruitment. And if you've got a track record of success, then obviously you should follow that. I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe no one believes in him, and Edwards and Hughes believe in him, and
he's a prime striker.
Who knows?
It could be neither.
I don't know enough about him. All I've seen is just I haven't watched much of the Portuguese league, so when I say much, I mean any of the Portuguese.
You don't watch Liga Nos? Big up to Walter says, big up to Husam on the panel. Thank you for adding me on Snapchat. You'll never walk on. Appreciate you, Walter. And listen, I've said it about 600 times, but I swear the only app on is on Snapchat. I'm not on any other app. So if you see someone on Twitter pretending to be me, let me know. If you see someone wherever pretending to be me, let me know. I'm just on Snapchat and nowhere else. Husam LFC is my snap. So yeah. Big up to David says Ram thinks he needs a red carpet to speak. Yeah, he's trying to act like he's a celebrity. He was on the football terrace from 10 years ago.
No, because if I interrupt someone, I get in trouble. If I don't speak, then I still get in trouble. I'm either damned if I do.
The reason why you got in trouble is because you interrupted Raks's intro. He was saying hi to the people, Ramadan Kareem. He was being respectful. And then you're like, oh, by the way, I have to clarify something. No, you don't have to clarify in the middle of him talking. You fraud. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, and listen. Last segment of the day. I don't want to do it for too long because I've got to go in like a bit as well. So, man, like, there you are. Look at this Everton fan, you fraud. Beto and Dominic Carvatore. I'll be honest with you, James, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna come off as condescending to your football club. I am, but it is what it is. Like, you can completely hold it. I wouldn't trade the entirety of the Everton squad for Mo Salah. I'll be honest with you. Like, that's just like if you offer me your whole 25-man squad just for him, I'm saying
I think we'd be worse.
We'd be worse.
Yeah, 100%. You could give me all 25 players just for Mo, and I'm saying no. How about that? I'm gonna take it that far. I'm being serious.
I swear Mo has
I'm being serious.
Than Everton
I'm being serious.
Has goals this season. I swear to God, like 45. I guarantee he's more than Everton, man. Honestly.
Yeah, he has more than Everton. Yeah, I think he does. Anyway, Champions League, Mr. Raks, you started us off by being greedy. Talk to me about the Champions League, brother.
I've said it. And not since the start of this season, because I'll be honest and say our performances this season have surpassed my expectations. But when I saw the trajectory we were on, I'd probably say kind of October, November time, and I saw that we were one of the best teams in Europe. And when I say one of the best teams, I mean top 2-3 teams. We're performing like that. I always say, if you're in that position, if you're one of the best teams in Europe, you need to be looking to win the biggest honours available. And obviously, we're in prime position for the Premier League, so I don't think there's any discussion about that. But we have an opportunity again this year to make history, and we should do everything we can now, not take our eye off the Premier League, but focus on getting the best team ready for those big European nights that are forthcoming, and that the first one of those starts next week. PSG are going to be no mugs. Their recent form since pretty much since the City tie has been exceptional. But they're playing one of the best teams in Europe, arguably the best team in Europe, and that's us. They have to come to Anfield the second leg, and we're not messing about. Number 7, that's what we should be looking to get.
I like it, Raks. I like it. Do you know what? I was on stream with Terry for Football Terrace for Champions League draw, and we were live, and we heard that we got PSG, and I find it hilarious that George was telling us how to react to us getting PSG, even though his team's in Europa League. I feel as though a lot of people, including a couple of Liverpool fans, are being a little bit arrogant in regards to PSG. I know PSG ain't got no Champions League heritage and everything like that, but if you see the way they play and the structure of the club as well is completely different from what it was in previous years. Like, there's no more ego, there's no more arrogance in that team no more. I think Luis Enrique has now got a proper stamp on this team and how he wants his team to play football as well. And let's be no mugs, Enrique is one of the many few managers in this entire tournament that's actually won the damn thing. So we've got to put some respect on his name. He is not some mug. He's a top quality manager. So I'm going to be looking forward to Liverpool playing against the top teams. I think it's good that we're drawing people like PSG and Real Madrid, because we need to beat the best to win these trophies, man. So it is what it is. But I think we need to put some respect on PSG's name. They're going to be a tough outfit.
Yeah, look, if you told me you were playing PSG a few months ago, I'm like, easy victory. The last couple of months, PSG got their shit together, really, and they're starting to play really well. You know, Dembele in the 9 is like really good all of a sudden. You know, in that position, you know, Bacola's doing his stuff. Because the second leg's at Anfield, as long as we get a draw in the first leg, I think we win at Anfield, and we go through. In my opinion, I'm looking ahead. If we do beat PSG, our quarterfinal could be Club Brugge and Villa. I actually do think it'll be Club Brugge.
Yeah. I think it'll be Club Brugge as well.
I think so.
Yeah, if it's a Liverpool Club Brugge quarterfinal, and the way the Premier League is going right now, this might be getting ahead of myself, but if Liverpool can contain,
you're about to get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to get ahead of myself. If Liverpool can contain that league table point-wise, you know, by next week, because I don't think it's a given. Arsenal beat Chelsea in their game in hand, by the way. I don't think that's a given. Yeah, if Liverpool beat Southampton like we should do, it could be a 16-point gap. If Liverpool can get past PSG, the title's almost done. Liverpool can really concentrate heavily on the Premier League, and because you're looking at the Champions League, yeah. And then you can really look at if Liverpool can get to the semi-finals, I still think the PSG game's going to be very difficult. But if Liverpool can get to the semi-finals, you're probably looking at one of the Madrid teams. I would rather actually play Real in the semi than Atletico. I'm just saying that right now. It might sound weird to people. I just hate Atletico Madrid shit outery. I actually watch a lot of Spanish football.
Stop it. Please.
I watch a lot of Spanish football. Atletico Madrid arguably play the best football.
La Liga merchant.
They actually play the best football in Spain at the moment.
That's true. Madrid. That is also very
They
true,
played some very good football. Barcelona are all about transition. That's why they concede about 100 goals, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying it. It's going to be a Liverpool-Barcelona final. It's going to be a Liverpool-Barcelona
I think
final.
it'll be a Liverpool
final. all the history merchants, if we do play Bruges in the quarterfinal, that'll be a replay of the European Cup final
78.
where we retained the European Cup. The only team in England who's dominated England and Europe. We retained the European Cup final against Club Bruges. I think it was like late 70s. I can't remember what year it is, 79 or something. But yeah, that will be a historic
78,
quarterfinal,
78, because we won
77, 78, 81,
77,
84,
78,
05, 19.
81,
Mhm.
84. And
19.
2000, yeah, obviously.
And Mingo
Everyone
ain't
knows
big goal, ain't he?
2005.
Ain't Mingo ain't
Everyone
goal.
knows 2005. Everyone knows 2019. Don't be a smart ass, Ram. That's not the one we're thinking about.
I feel like Liverpool got a big chance. I think you look at.
I agree
Madrid
with this.
team.
I think Inter do take care of Barcelona. I'll be honest with you.
You
I
think?
think it'd be. I think.
Have you seen
Liverpool,
Simeone Inzaghi? That guy is
Yeah, look, they can
he
get
is the
0-0 anywhere.
definition of a shithouse. That guy is going to have 900 people
he should
behind
be
the ball.
Arsenal manager, man.
I just don't know if he can stop Barcelona scoring. I know he's great at getting 0-0s and get the draws, but stopping Barcelona scoring, I think it might be actually a high scoring game than people think.
But Jamie, I will say, can Barca contain Inter though?
No, that's why I think it's going to be high scoring. It could end up 5-4 and accurate this tie. Or it could be Inter just win it 1-0 over 2 legs. Do you know what I mean? It's either one or the other for me.
You don't think it'll be like a comfortable win for Inter?
No. I think Leverkusen are not buying that as well.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. I don't think Bayern will go through.
It's very interesting Champions League this year. These group stages. Liverpool one of the favourites. I don't want to play Inter Milan in a final. Good God, no.
By the way, I'm glad the semi-finals at Anfield. If we're playing either.
By the way, can I tell you unpopular opinion? Inter Milan, we slap. Barcelona, it would be like 4-3 type game.
Be a mad game, Barcelona.
Yes, and I don't think if my heart can stomach it. But against Inter, I already know it's just going to be park the bus versus a team who wants to play football. And Jamie, by the time we play the Champions League final, hopefully, if Atletico knock out Madrid, by the time we play a Champions League final, how many low blocks would we have faced this season? Like, think about it. We would have been like the expert in low block, low-key. Like, genuinely think, like, just deep it for a second. Go like, if I count all Premier League games against the low block and the Champions League games against the low block, we would have probably played like 30 low blocks this season. Genuinely. I'm not even exaggerating. I think that's a fair number.
Yeah.
It's a madness. Look, if Atletico Madrid beat Real and Inter Milan beat Barcelona and we win our game against PSG, yeah.
Have you heard, Husam, that if Liverpool and Inter do face each other in the final, there's a possibility that there might be a massive watch along between you and Mo in the UK.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Habibi, khalas. When it happens, we will talk. For now, there is no need for me to think of that scenario. You get me? There's no need for me to think of that scenario. It'll be the MHF derby. You get me? So, yeah, it'll be the MHF derby in the final. That's what that game is going to be. So,
at the end of the day, though, look, we can all get ahead of ourselves and try and work things out. This PSG game's going to be more difficult than it was a few months back.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a difficult game. And
you think we're going to handle them?
If we get at least a draw at part of the points, and
can I ask you a serious question, Jamie?
We win.
Are you worried about Arsenal in the Champions League?
Well, no, because they're not getting past PSV. So,
yo,
they've got to score more than 3 goals over 2 legs to get past PSV. They couldn't score against West Ham, and they couldn't score against Nottingham Forest. And it took a lucky Mourinho brace in the 80th minute to actually break down Leicester.
They got Perisic at right back, Jamie, man.
Yeah, but I think PSV, look, I think Arsenal players' morale has gone that way. When players' morale goes that way, it can impact you on the pitch where you shouldn't lose games. And they've got to score over 3 goals to beat PSV, in my opinion. So, over 2 legs. And, you know, you got Chubby Sterling, he can't score. You know, you got Trossard, who's grey. The man's literally dead. I don't know if he's got a pulse. It's like weekend at What's that? Weekend at Burnley's, ain't it? You know, that's what Trossard is. I just don't see Arsenal going through. I think PSV deal with them, man. I think PSV deal with them.
Why are we counting Champions Leagues? Let's actually go through a combined 11. Courtois is injured, so I'm going to go David Raya. They don't have a left back of quality, so I'm going to go Zinchenko. Center back pairing, I'm going to go Gabriel and Saliba. I don't think any of their center backs are better than ours. It's a toss-up between Carvajal and Ben White, but I would rather have Ben White. The midfield, Declan Rice is a defensive midfielder, no debate. Jude Bellingham is also in, no debate. And it comes down to Mudryk or Martin Odegaard, and I pick Martin Odegaard. I think Vinicius has been poor this season, so I'm going to go Rodrigo, Saka, and Gabriel Jesus. Let me know what you think.
I'll let you know what you think, Gal. That is, you're on acid or something, man. What? Did he have Rice over Tony Cruz?
Yeah, that was last season. Yeah, it was over Tony Kroos. Yeah.
Turning it back to us, I think just like the regular season.
Just because you do streams with him doesn't mean
no. But listen, I don't. We all know that's a ridiculous take. I don't know. We don't really need to bask in it. I was just on Igal's channel earlier on today, and Igal at one point was nearly in tears. I think this season has hit him hard on an emotional level, especially because a lot of Arsenal fans are going at him. Football. Sometimes people can take football a little bit too far. He has got some crazy takes, and I told him he's on one extreme, and some of those other guys are on another extreme. But people are kind of entitled to an opinion, and they don't deserve to be abused. And I think he's taken a lot of shit. So of
course, we aren't with abuse. No one here condone abuse.
No. Big out a Gal. Big out Gal.
Just put some respect on my.
I'll tell you what, mate, you feel better, Gal. Watch Liverpool's parade. That make you feel better.
But what I do want to say is, like, one of the good things is we've been able to avoid many. We need to keep our squad fit if we want to do the best in this league, because the one thing PSG, then we may come up against it, be in a difficult position against PSG. They've got a lot of young players, and some of those young players, they will lack experience, but sometimes young players can also be brave, and who knows, there may be a situation in that tie where we have a bit of a sticky situation and we may need to use our squad.
Yeah, as long as we don't lose the loss against if we do lose in France, as long as we don't overdo it and have a mountain to climb at Anfield, I think we'll be good to go. Serious question: would you swap Dominic Calvert-Lewin for Darwin? I would.
For a minute, I thought that meant Dominic Soboslai.
Yeah, so did I was about to say. No, I won't have Calvert-Lewin, man. I won't have Calvert-Lewin.
For Darwin, I would.
I would.
I'd pretty much take anybody for Darwin.
It's like picking between dog shit and horse shit. Like they're both shit.
I'm not having Calvert-Lewin, man. I'm not having.
Sorry. Give me someone better. Maybe better than over Darwin, definitely. Yeah.
No,
I hear you, mate. Nottingham Forest also retained the title in well, that's not what Raks said though. Raks said for Premier League and Champions League all at the same time.
Yeah, so
they kind of did it as
Forest
well.
have a unique accolade. They got promoted to the first division.
Yep.
They then won the division. They won the first division. The following year, their first ever time in the European Cup, they knocked out Liverpool, who were the holders.
Yep.
They won it that year, and then they retained it the following year. So they've only won one. They've only won one English league title, yet they've won 2 European Cups. Yeah, absolutely incredible.
They are the only club in history that does that. Have done that.
Didn't Forest get promoted and won the league that season? Didn't they?
That was it. They got promoted. Won the Premier, won the first division, won the Champions League, European Cup, and won the European Cup again.
To 80, they won second division, first division, Champions League.
Yeah, that's mad. Mad time.
That's Brian Clough.
It's a mad time.
Your dad's a Forest fan, isn't he, Ram?
Yeah, literally because of Brian Clough. They did that. That is literally him.
Yeah, I like Brian Clough, man.
Yeah, he was that guy.
That's a heck of a...
Anyway, tune in next week to the Nottingham Forest show, hosted by Husam and featuring 3 Liverpool fans.
Oh wow, this Liverpool doc is hot doo-doo. Many
It's
people,
bad, man.
I
It's
didn't
bad,
watch
man.
it, but a lot of these guys are not recommending I watch it.
No, the two highlights. It's basically Klopp telling his story and his love for the club, and that's nice. But the other part of it is basically all Harvey Elliott's dad. It's just random, man. It's so random. It's so random. You know, he's got as many things as Jurgen does. It's mad.
Guys, I got a question. Just literally popped into my head. Right? Would you take Kulu from Tottenham to play on that right hand side?
No, man. I'm not taking anyone who hunches as much as Kulu does, man. It's like this all the time. The man, has Kulu ever stood straight in his life? The man hunches constantly. No, I'm not having him. And have you noticed that Kulu tires out after about 45 minutes in every game he ever plays? Like, he's knackered after about 45 minutes. Man's got no stamina.
I hear it.
None.
I give a gal shit, but I want to shout him out. He's the only Arteta inner who goes on Lee's/Potts' channel and stands on his business, takes some big
it does. Big up.
Yeah, it does. And listen, of course, it's only we're going. Guys, why are you making me feel bad for cooking a gal? What's going on with like? Listen, it's just
in a respectful way.
I do want to say though, in general, I've been more tolerant of Arsenal fans this season. A lot of other people I've seen been going at them, but in this last week, some of the shit that Arsenal fans have been saying, it has actually really wound me up. It's made me pretty fucking angry not because I'm angry at what they're saying, but it's more because it feels like they're trying to take away what we've earned. You know, like I don't in isolation. I don't care what they say, but when you're trying to ruin my enjoyment of it, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
there we go. Raks, I've been saying this for months, and you've been trying
Raks
to play
is
this
really mad.
bull crap this whole
Raks is very
entire
upset.
time.
Raks is back.
Raks is back. This is what I call, ladies and gentlemen, the Rak attack. You get me? Big up, Raks. Big up. Anyway, listen, we're going to wrap up the stream on that note. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Ramadan Kareem to all of you guys once again. I'm going to be back tomorrow, inshallah, for the Ramadan Q&A at 11 p.m. UK time. I literally have no other stream planned because I'm going to sit up here and watch City Plymouth. Jamie Phillips Football Chats is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Ram's channel is in the description. Go give him a subscribe if he decides to make content at some point in time in his life. And Raks, you can follow him on Twitter at RakSingh1. We're also adding K-Max channel to the description as well. Anyway, I checked the list of the people who are live, and Jacob is live, so we're going to redirect to him. So, yeah, just go spam Husam Raid in his chat. I'll be spamming it as well. Love you all, and see you guys back tomorrow, inshallah. Peace out. Raks was soft last week, is what I just saying. Okay, there you go. There you go. Big up to you, Balaji. See you guys later, man.